A very good morning to all of you, my dear students. This is Shafiq Ahmed, and you are all welcome to your YouTube channel. Let's learn together. As we have discussed and started the chapter nationalism in India in our first tutorial, this is the second part of the tutorial, and we are going to discuss a lot of things in this tutorial also. So let us start with the Rowlatt Act and the Rowlatt Satyagraha. So as we came to know, we discussed that Gandhiji was organizing Satyagraha after Satyagraha and getting success in all the Satyagrahas that he was organizing. He was very successfully convincing the people how to revolt against the Britishers, how to protest, and how to protest by following the path of non-violence without using any physical force. So Britishers were quite worried with the development of the feeling of nationalism among the Indians. So they were holding responsible to the British. The Britishers were holding responsible to the leaders who were doing all these things, who were convincing, like Mahatma Gandhi. So what they hurriedly done, they passed one act known as Rowlatt Act in their parliament, and that act was passed through the Imperial Legislative Council. That is the council where there were Indian members also. The Indian members were also one of the few members of the India Legislative Council. But this Imperial Legislative Council passed that particular Rowlatt Act, and that act was passed on the report submitted by Justice Rowlatt, and the report name of the report was the Sedition Committee. Sedition means was to betray someone your own country. So the name of the committee was the Sedition Committee, and the head was Justice Rowlatt. And Justice Rowlatt has presented this particular report regarding the feeling of nationalism or regarding the Satyagraha that was going on in the country against the Britishers. So he presented the report before the Imperial Legislative Council, and that council hurriedly, in a quick time, they passed this particular Rowlatt Act. Even there was united opposition, means the members who were there in the Imperial Legislative Council, the Indian members, they opposed, they protested, they tried to defend that this act should not be passed. But even though they are defend, the act was passed because the majority of the members were from the Britishers side. So they were helpless. The members of the Indian members were helpless. They tried their best, but it was passed. And what was there in the act? That is the thing we should know. The British government were having enormous powers to stop all these satyagrahas by getting this act. This act gave a lot of power to the British government to stop all this, to repress these political activities that was guided by Mahatma Gandhi and other leaders. According to this act, they can detain any political prisoners without trial for 2 years. Means they can pick up the leaders, pick up the political leaders who are convincing the people against the Britishers. They can pick them up and they can put them behind the bar inside the prison for 2 years without any trial in the court. Means without any debate in the court between the lawyers, without any judgment. They can put the political leaders behind the bar for 2 years. That was written in the act, and that is why all the leaders of the all the Indian leaders were worried with this act, that according to this act they can put all the leaders behind the bars. That was the worried. So Mahatma Gandhi started this Rowlatt Satyagraha, means the Satyagraha against the Rowlatt Act. That's why the Satyagraha was also came to be known as Rowlatt Satyagraha, which was against such unjust laws, which was against this law, that act. And that satyagraha, Lawrence Satyagraha, started with a hartal, means started with a strike on 6th April 1919. In the beginning of the chapter, I showed you one image that was also from 6th April 1919. So that was the beginning of Rowlatt Satyagraha, and it was started with strike. Later on, rallies in different cities of India were organized. Workers also went on strike in railway workshops, and even many shops were closed down also to protest or to support this Rowlatt Satyagraha. Britishers were getting worried once again. The Britishers, they were alarmed by this, you can say, popular upsurge. Means इस लहर से Britishers परेशान हो गए. They were quite worried with this popular upsurge, and they were scared also. The Britishers were scared that due to the strike, the lines of communication, such as railway and telegraph, means to postal orders, even railways, would be disrupted, would be stopped, would be affected with the strike. So they were quite alarmed. They were very serious. They were worried. Britishers were very worried, and they now plan to take some action to stop this Rowlatt Satyagraha. What they did, they decided to clamp down, बंद करने के लिए उन्होंने पूरा decide कर लिया that we will stop this Rowlatt Satyagraha anyhow. They started what? They started acting according to the Rowlatt Act. They started picking up local leaders from Amritsar, and Mahatma Gandhi was banned from entering Delhi. Means Mahatma Gandhi was not allowed to enter Delhi, and they were also picking up the local leaders from Amritsar and other places also. So they started acting upon the Rowlatt Act. And according to Rowlatt Act, we know they can put the leaders behind the bar for 2 years without any case, without any debate in the court. So on 10th April 1919, what they did, you remember the date of start of Rowlatt Satyagraha, that is 6th April. And just after 4 days, you can see 10th April 1919, the police in Amritsar, they fired, you can see there, they fired upon peaceful procession. People were protesting peacefully, means they were not fighting, they were just maybe narrating the slogans, but the police fired on them, killed many of them on the spot, which resulted in widespread attacks on banks. Now that was the action time from the Indians, because they have started, the Britishers have started by firing on them. So now it's action time for the Indians. What they did, they started attacking on bank, post office, railway station. Means now the thing was going on against the wishes of Mahatma Gandhi, because Mahatma Gandhi told them that we should follow the path of non-violence. But Mahatma Gandhi now can see that there was violence everywhere. The prefix non has went out from the word non-violence. Now only violence was left. Everywhere, the police and the Indian people were fighting and clashing with each other, killing each other. That was going on. And due to this, the British government imposed, means implemented martial law. Martial law means what? That is powers in the hand of the army in that Amritsar region. Because everything, many things, many riots, people were fighting with the police. That's why British government imposed this martial law in Amritsar. And General Reginald Dyer took command of that area. Means now the place of Amritsar was under the control of General Reginald Dyer. Next, what happened? Next, very important topic, that is Jallianwala Bagh massacre. That is Hatyakand, you can say, in Amritsar took place. What was the next step taken by General Reginald Dyer on 13th April? Now, see it, on 10th April, there was attack on the people by the police on 10th April, you can see. And now on 14th April, on 13th April 1919, the infamous Jallianwala Bagh incident took place. Because Jallianwala Bagh is an incident, but it was not famous, it is infamous, है ना? कुछ चीजें बदनाम होके भी नाम कमा लेती है. So likewise, Jallianwala Bagh also was infamous, and that was really bad, dark day in the Indian history and for Indian people. That was really very unfortunate for all of us that on 13th April that Jallianwala Bagh incident took place. What really happened on that day? On that day, a large crowd of people were gathered in the enclosed ground, means the ground was closed from all sides. So a large crowd of people was there in Jallianwala Bagh. That was a garden, that Jallianwala Bagh garden. Some of the people came there to protest against that Rowlatt Act, and they were protesting, but peacefully. And many of them were there. Many other people were there from other side of the city or the state uh, to attend that annual Baisakhi fair, also Baisakhi Mela. Many of them went there to attend. They were not knowing about this protest. Even they were not aware of the martial law that was imposed in Amritsar. So there was a huge crowd of people in that place, Jallianwala Bagh place. Now, what happened next? As I told you, that many villagers who were there to attend Baisakhi fair, they were unaware of this martial law that was imposed in the law. So, what happened next? General Dyer entered the area, entered that particular place, Jallianwala Bagh place. He asked his sepoys, means soldiers, to block all the exit points. So they all blocked the exit point, means now the crowd cannot leave the ground over there. Now they cannot leave the place. If all the exit points were blocked, means closed. And General Dyer ordered his soldiers to open fire on the crowd, and that happened. General Dyer, upon his order, the fire started. They started firing on the people, and they killed hundreds. Around 1,200 people were killed. I read somewhere that some of the author had written that when General Dyer ordered his soldiers to fire on the people who were innocent, because many of them were just there to attend Baisakhi fair, and many of them were just protesting peacefully also. So when General Dyer asked to open fire on the crowd, the soldiers first of all not fired on the people, they fired on the sky. In the sky, means they opened fire, they fire on the sky, so that General Dyer might think again and change his order. But General Dyer once again ordered his soldiers to fire on the crowd and not in the air. So they started firing, and it killed hundreds. Later on, when he was asked about this action, why he ordered such a thing and killed thousands of people there, hundreds of people, around 1,200. So he declared that why he ordered such. He said that he wanted to produce a moral effect. He wanted to teach a lesson to the people of India that if they will go against the Britishers, against the government, then they will have to die. Such thing will be there. They will be fired on the spot. They will be killed on the spot. He said that he wanted to produce this feeling of terror. eh. He wanted to create in the mind of Satyagrahis what he wanted to create, a feeling of terror and awe. Means एक खौफ पैदा करना चाहता था General Dyer. That's why he did that. That's why he ordered and killed hundreds of people there on 13th April 1919. Remember it. And I read also somewhere about General Dyer that British government awarded him for this act and gave him a lot of money and sent him to the to and sent him back to England, where he enjoyed the rest of his life. But later on, during when he was in England, one of the Indian went there and also killed him also there on the spot. But he was awarded for his act by the British government because he created a feeling of terror among the mind of the Satyagrahis, the people who were doing Satyagraha. So Gandhiji, hearing about the incident of Jallianwala Bagh, now decided to call off the Satyagraha movement, to stop the Satyagraha movement, because he was thinking something else, that people should be trained that how should we do the protest. As the news of Jallianwala Bagh spread, crowds, when the Jallianwala Bagh news, the incident of Jallianwala Bagh spread out throughout India. Then everywhere, crowds took to the streets. They came into the streets, and they started what? Doing strike, clashing with the police, attacks government officials, government buildings, and again, now it was action time by the government. The government also responded with very brutal repression. Government also responded by beating them up, humiliating them. उनको नीचा दिखाने के लिए भी गवर्नमेंट ने कुछ कसर नहीं छोड़ा. The government also responded with brutal, means निर्दय का तरह, है ना? The government was very brutal, and they started beating up the people and terrorize people. डराने का पूरा कोशिश किया the government. Even you can see the satyagrahis were forced to rub their noses on the ground. सत्याग्रहीस को मजबूर किया गया कि वो अपने नाक को जमीन में रगड़े. They were forced to rub their noses on the ground, crawl on the streets like animals. The British officials, means the British soldier, the sepoys, forced the satyagrahis to crawl on the streets, to rub their noses on the ground, and to salute all the sahib, means to salute, means to wish all the sahib like salam to all the officers of the Britishers. So satyagrahis were terrorized. They tried to make them feel down. They asked them to rub their noses on the ground. They asked them to crawl in the streets, and that was the thing the Britishers were doing on. I have an image also that is also given in your book, of the crawling on the street of the people, how they were crawling, how the British government were forcing them to crawl. Let us see that image. Now you can see this figure number 3. It is also in your book, General Dyer's crawling orders. See, two of the soldiers, you see the two of the soldiers forcing one of the satyagrahis to crawl on the street and rub his nose on the ground also. That was done by the British soldiers in Amritsar, Punjab in the year 1919. So that is the thing Britishers started doing to stop the satyagrahis, to terrorize the people, so that they stop all the satyagrahs, all the protests against the Britishers to stop. Next, people were flogged मतलब कोड़े बरसाना है ना, हंटर से मारना लोगों को. People were flogged also, and villages around Gujranwala, which was in Punjab at that time, but this village Gujranwala is now in Pakistan. So they bombed the village also, means they threw bomb on the villagers, killed thousands of them in the village, and they also were flogging the people, means कोड़े बरसा रहे थे, लोगों को पीट रहे थे, मार रहे थे. They were killing and beating up the people. So Gandhi ji has seen all this, that what he wanted was going on other side. So that is the reason why Mahatma Gandhi called off the Satyagraha movement then and there. And he was thinking to plan something big. So let's brush up your knowledge. There are few questions which you can answer by having this video, by going through the video once again and again. You can surely answer these questions. There are 13 questions. So that is all for your revision work. Now let us start a new topic, that is Khilafat movement. So Gandhi ji was thinking that okay, I have stopped that Satyagraha movement. Now I have to launch another big movement, because he understood that I will have to launch a more broader based concept, which can include uh, majority of the people. He was thinking like this, that I will have to do something big so that I can take the help of the majority of the people, because Rowlatt Satyagraha just limited to cities and towns. People of cities and towns were involved in that Rowlatt Satyagraha. It could not reach to the countryside, to the village side. That's why Mahatma Gandhi was thinking to unite majority of the people together and fight against the Britishers. And he was quite sure that he could not organize a big movement without bringing the Hindus and the Muslim closer to each other. So he was thinking of to get an opportunity to bring these two majority of the people, Hindus and Muslim, close together. He was looking for that opportunity, that if he will get, and if he will get success to bring these two majority of the people, then he can surely launch a very big movement against the Britishers. And that was the right time he got the opportunity also. And at that time, in the year 1918, we all know that First World War ended, and the blame for the war, expenses that occurred, losses that occurred to the British government, that all were blamed on the Ottoman Empire that was there in Turkey. Ottoman Empire that was there in Turkey. There was a rumor that the emperor of the Ottoman Empire, that is known as also Khalifa. Khalifa is, who is this man? Khalifa. Khalifa is the spiritual head, means who used to take decision on the basis of Islam, and, on this, on the religion, on the many issues of the Islamic. So he is the man who used to take decisions, who used to issue new fatwa also, means orders in the Islam, that what should be done. So people over all the world used to listen to this Khalifa. And when they heard, all the Muslim of the world, including the Indian Muslim, when they heard that a harsh treaty agreement is going to signed up, and on against the Khalifa, and the Turkey emperor, that Khalifa will have to pay all the losses, for all the losses of the First World War. So they were worried, because they were worried for their Khalifa, that is the spiritual head of their. So the Indian Muslims were also looking for an opportunity to do something to support Khalifa, who was in Turkey. So two members, two young leaders, you can say, Muhammad Ali and Shaukat Ali, both were the brothers, and they began discussing regarding this Khalifa issue, or the issue which was going to be signed up treaty with Mahatma Gandhi. They decided to consult Mahatma Gandhi and asked him to help. So Gandhiji was also looking for the opportunity. Okay, I do need also one opportunity to bring Muslims together. So Gandhiji was looking for the opportunity, and he got the opportunity. He got the opportunity to unite, to bring Muslim together with the Hindus. So what he did, what Gandhiji did, Gandhiji saw this opportunity to bring Muslims under the umbrella of United National Movement. Now Gandhiji was planning to launch a wider movement, that is national movement, with Hindus and Muslims together. And what he proposed, that why they will fight, why they will struggle, why they will do satyagraha, uh, he explained the other members of his Congress party also, that he will launch this particular new movement, that Khilafat movement, with two different purpose. Number one, to defend Khalifa, to support that Khalifa, and number two, to get rid of the Britishers from India. That was the two reasons Gandhiji was thinking. So a Khilafat committee was formed in Bombay in the year 1919, and the month was March. In March 1919, Khilafat committee was formed. And at the Calcutta session of the Congress in September 1920, means the party Congress used to hold different sessions at different places. So in the year 1920, September 1920, they were having a session at Calcutta, and where Gandhiji convinced the leaders, other leaders of the movement of the Congress party also, to start this new movement known as non-cooperation movement, to support two things: to support Khilafat, that is the power of the Khalifa, to support the power of the Khalifa, and as well as for Swaraj, means that is independence, to get independence from the Britishers. He tried to convince the people, the other members of the Congress party, and from there they adopted this non-cooperation movement. And let us discuss this non-cooperation movement in detail. So there is a fact that is also written in your book, that Gandhiji wrote one book, named Hind Swaraj when he wrote in the year 1909, and he declared in his book that the Britishers have survived in India because of the cooperation of the Indians only. Because the Britishers were new to our country, we, the people of India, helped them to survive in our country. That was the thinking of Gandhiji, that if we will all stop cooperating the Britishers, then they will leave the country from their own self. We will not have to fight with them. We will just have to start non-cooperating them. We have to stop cooperating them. That is the thing Gandhiji was saying to the members. According to Gandhiji, what he was saying, that if Indian refuse to cooperate, if Indian will start to refuse to cooperate the British, then the British rule in India would collapse within a year. Now, see, he has written in the year 1909, and if that really goes well, if it had been the case, then India might got freedom in the year 1910, but it was not so. But Gandhiji was saying that British rule in India would collapse within a year and Swaraj would come and independence, Indian people will get the independence from the Britishers. He was quite correct. Gandhiji was quite correct at that time because he was really saying the truth that if Indians will stop cooperating them, then they will have to leave the country. Then, but really, what really happened? Why we haven't got the independence then in the year 1910 or in 1920 maybe? We will let us know. We will all know why it not happened. Gandhiji proposed that the movement should fall in different stages. Now Gandhiji planned the movement. He planned that there will be different steps, or you can say stages of the movement. So what was the planning? He said that we will begin with the surrender of the titles that the government has awarded to the Indian. Many Indian people has got awarded, have been awarded by the Britishers for their service also. So what Gandhiji said, that we will first have to surrender those titles. We give back those titles to the Britishers. Throw their awards, their titles on their face. We will have to start from this first step. Next, Gandhiji proposed that we will have to boycott what? Civil services. I mean, if someone is in the police service, soldiers, if someone is in the army, then they will have to leave the service. If someone is in the police, they will have to leave that work. If someone is working in the court, British court, then they will have to leave that work. Even they will have to boycott legislative council, that council where there were members of Indian members were also there, even though they have passed Roll Act. So Gandhiji was saying that we will have to boycott civil service, army, police, court, legislative councils also, and even schools and foreign goods also. He was suggesting that we should start like this. Boycott means give up, do not use, do not cooperate. Boycott means leave those things. Leave what? Leave civil services, army, police, court. Leave the court. Those who are lawyer, he will have to leave the court also. And even the Congress party will not participate in the legislative council also. Even the students should not go to school, and people should stop using the goods which have been made in foreign and brought from foreign. That's what the few steps Gandhiji suggested. Now let us see what happened next, whether people acted according to Gandhiji or not. And Gandhiji planned, next step was that he was saying that if the government will try to stop us, if the government will use repression like they have done earlier also, they have beaten up during the Satyagraha, Rowlatt Satyagraha. So if the government will do that thing once again, then Gandhiji said that we will launch another movement known as civil disobedience campaign. I will launch another movement after that. So Gandhiji suggested, and you can say threatened British government also, that if you will do the repression, if you will try to beat us, stop us, then we will launch one more movement, that is civil disobedience movement, that we will study later on in the chapter. So Through the summer of 1920, through the summer season of 1920, Mahatma Gandhi and one of that brother Shaukat Ali, they moved from place to place, and they gathered, they collected, they gathered support of the people for the movement. They tried to explain the people, what the movement is all about, how to, how should they non-cooperate the Britishers. Means they were moving around and collecting or gathering people and having their support so that the movement can be launched. But Gandhiji tried his best to convince other members of the Congress party. But the Congress party was not willing to boycott council elections, which was to be scheduled in the year at November 1920, which was scheduled to be held in November 1920. Congress party was not willing to boycott that election. They wanted to be in the legislative council so that they can raise their voice when there will be a making of the new law. But Gandhiji has seen that there were Indian members in the legislative council. Even then they have passed Rowlatt Act. That's why Gandhiji was saying that it is useless to be there in the legislative council of the British members of the British Parliament. Why should we be there? Because they are in majority. They will pass any law without our support also. So it is better to boycott election. But the other members were not ready. And in the month of, you can see it, September and December 1920, September, October, November, December, these 4 months, there was intense struggle within the Congress party. Means they were not on the same side. Few were with Gandhiji, few were not with Gandhiji. Yes, few of them demanded that uh, we should take up the election, and others were not ready to take up the election. Others were ready to take, and many others were not ready to take the election. Finally, what happened in December 1922 at another session which was held in Nagpur, at Congress session held at Nagpur, and they compromised, and they decided that we will adopt this non-cooperation movement, and we will start this non-cooperation movement. So from January 1921, they adopted this particular non-cooperation movement. Congress party adopted this, which was finally decided in the Congress session at Nagpur. They adopted this in the December 1920, and they started the movement. They launched the movement in the year 1921, January 1921. That we will discuss in our next tutorial. For the time being, many congratulations to all of you that you are watching this video tutorial. You will learn a lot. If someone is new over here, then please subscribe the channel, like it, pass the comment also, and share it with your friends and relatives also. And don't forget to press the bell icon also, so that you can get the next release of the tutorial. Thank you. Bye bye. Stay safe. Take care of you.